Well, I don't want to accuse them of that, even though I feel what I feel. But at the end of the day, y'all not who I want to hear from. Y'all just not who I want to hear from.
Right. Word. This kind of brought up an interesting topic on Facebook here. We gonna close this thing out. I just wanted to get your take.
I mean, this is definitely something that
I ran across this post on Facebook this morning, and somebody had put on here, and just this is quote here. Before we begin spreading the lies of the deadliest mass terrorist shooting in U.S. history, let's not forget. And this person listed 4 separate incidents that took place in the early 1900s. That's Melvin, yo?
Get my motherfucking gun.
Oh, really? I thought this dude was playing, man.
I thought he was playing, too.
I thought he was playing. Dude coming in recording.
I don't got no chair for this nigga.
Yeah, you gonna have to stand up, man. You gonna have to stand up for this, man. Yeah, man. We got special guests in the house.
We got a first guest in this motherfucker.
Yeah, we got the homie Melvin right here. What name you want to go by?
Nah, pause. Pause.
But
I wouldn't sit there.
Little beach chair. You go to the beach? Oh, what beach you go to? Anacostia River.
Yeah.
Right. All right, yeah. Have a seat, man. We're live in front of a studio audience right here. This is like it's like our only studio audience member right here.
Yeah. Oh, so you look comfortable.
Hope there's no pressure, Maestro.
Pressure? There ain't no pressure. Word, but we was talking about what you was talking about?
Yeah. I was talking about this Facebook post that I saw this morning, and I'll say it again. This guy put a post on his page, and he said, "Before we begin spreading the lies of the deadliest mass terrorist shooting in U.S. history, let's not forget these four events that took place in the early 1900s." So he listed, and I don't know if you've heard of these events here. The East St. Louis Massacre, the Arkansas Massacre, Tulsa Massacre, and Rosewood.
Say that again. What was the quote again?
Oh, the quote was, "Before we begin spreading the lies of the deadliest mass transit shooting in U.S. history," because I think you've heard the narrative that this Orlando thing was the biggest mass shooting in history.
Now, my facts are a little fuzzy. 50 people died.
50 people.
How many people were wounded?
53.
So we're talking about over 100 people.
Yes.
Were directly affected by this shit.
Yes.
Gotcha. I was just making sure I understood that. That's what I read, but I was just it was hard for me to process that a motherfucker ran in the club and shot, or
which is why I brought.
Well, ideally, all of them wasn't shot. Like you said, some people might have failed.
Which is why I brought up the question that Debbie asked me yesterday.
But that it's an enclosed space. Most clubs, if they had that many people. It was probably capacity like 350. I don't know if it was a popping night that night. It was a Saturday night.
It's a Saturday night.
Yeah, so it probably was popping. That's the perfect place if you was going to go shoot some motherfuckers to do it. And but you were saying about the
So I think the purpose of this guy's post was, one, he was trying to compare these 4 events to what happened in Orlando. Now, I did some research this morning on these 4 events. So apparently what happened in these 4 events in the early 1900s was that these were riots that were fueled by labor and race-related things that happened in the United States years and years and years ago. 200 deaths in the St. Louis Massacre, 854 in the Arkansas thing, and so on and so on. Those numbers are debatable because I've seen different sites where one site said it's only 200, the other site says it's 600. So I'm not going to get into that.
But here's what we're not about to do. we're not about to have a top 5 of fucking massacres of people of mass people dying. That's what we're not about to do. See, the shit is. See, motherfuckers like that, like how we turn motherfuckers dying into a novelty.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just and I kind of shared this on my page, and I said, look, why are we taking attention away from what happened in Orlando?
So 100 people are killed, and this dude's only response, or the only response that made it to your eyes, so I would imagine it made it to other people, was let me compare this to some other people that got killed.
He's trying to say that
this was insignificant. This was insignificant.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying. That's what he was trying to say.
Yeah, pretty
much. This don't mean nothing because in comparison to all these other mass killings, this ain't shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's saying, let's not forget it.
All right. Well, how about say let's not forget, or as opposed to this smug comment of before we rationalize whatever mass shootings are, mass killings are.
Sure.
Like,
and I posed the question. I'm like, okay, so how do we define a mass shooting? Is a mass shooting determined by the number of victims that are killed?
Well, a mass shooting is defined by how many people are shot, but nonetheless, one isn't more important than the other. I don't think.
I agree with you. It shouldn't be that way, and we shouldn't be comparing stuff from the 1900s up until now.
Well, we shouldn't be comparing.
Is it a good?
At the end of the day, motherfuckers died. What else do you need to say?
Yeah.
A motherfuckers died, and motherfuckers shouldn't be getting killed in that proportion. Motherfuckers going to die. That's going to happen. That's cool. We get that, but we're not about to sit here and be like, well, this one's was more significant than this one because this many more people died. At the end of the day, we should just chalk it up as a motherfucker died. Or a lot of people died.
I bet you this guy is probably the Malcolm X of whatever. Probably a Black Panther from back in the day, and just decided, hey, you know what? Let me just spill some history out. This dude's name on Facebook is George Bond.
George Bond?
Yeah, B-O-B-O-N-D.
Oh, like James Bond. George Bond, you can eat a dick.
Yeah,
I hope at one point you hear this from me, Maestro Styles, Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just advertise him to go ahead and listen to the podcast.
Yeah, like send him
I should just send him a special request.
Back at me. Or let me do the diplomatic route.
No, we the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast.
But
we don't have to do it as diplomatically.
But I'm growing. I meant when I said eat a dick. I meant that. But I would love to understand why, or understand his take on why he chose to say that.
I think because
I would love to not to see, but we don't know. We speculate.
We don't know.
I would love to hear what his thought process was, because how I interpreted it, and I think how anybody else that read it might interpret it, was okay. That's the real mass killings right here. The Arkansas shit. Yeah, that's that real shit. Yeah. But this shit in Orlando, when a youngin' with a gun decided to run around and shoot at 100 people was injured.
Right.
It could have been 300, 400 motherfuckers in the club.
Yeah, it don't matter to me, man. It don't matter to me at all. This was
then a gay club, and then to kind of add injury to insult in a gay club, and then it was that night in particular they were celebrating some type of I don't want to seem some gay pride shit. It was some gay pride shit they were celebrating.
Right.
And okay, now let's go bust in and shoot these motherfuckers.
Yeah, let's get into some sports, man.
Kimbo Slice passed at 42 last week. Anybody that know Kimbo Slice, for me, it was more about the internet fights and all that, and rest in peace to him. He did eventually make it to MMA through Ultimate Fighter. Dana White told him like, all right, the internet shit cool. Now you gotta prove your worth. He's like the ultimate. He's like the Rafer Austin of MMA.
You stole that from me.
It was this.
Cool. It's cool. Yeah.
All right. Well,
it's cool.
You want me to give you another example, motherfucker? Like
no, it's cool. It's cool. Man.
But in any event, he was like, he like the Rafer Austin. It was the kid that you knew he was nice in the streets, and he busted his ass, and he got his opportunity to make it into the big leagues. Never really became, the tops of the MMA. Like Skip never became, at the end of the day, he was really just a good.
He's just a little below average point guard.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
At that point.
So,
yeah.
But rest in peace to Kimbo Slice, man.
7-0 record in boxing, which really there wasn't a boxing career to speak of.
Yeah, he didn't really get started.
MMA 5-3.
His notable win was
bad.
against Ken Shamrock, who used to be a wrestler, WWF wrestler back in the day.
Right.
I don't know how we would mention Kimbo Slice before Muhammad Ali, but rest in peace to Muhammad Ali. I don't know what there is much to say about him outside of the fact that for my money's worth, and though I wasn't there when it was live and he was actually fighting, I have had the opportunity in life to see him fight. Rope-a-dope, that's his shit.
That's the signature joint.
Best trash talker, at least back in that day. I mean, definitely revolutionized it.
Called Joe Frazier ugly. Which, by the way, my grandmother did tell me that, he was ugly at that time.
Well,
so
I ain't got nothing to say about that. But
yeah, I haven't seen any of his fights. Obviously, I'm 33 years old. So
I mean, live, you haven't
live.
seen any of his
I haven't
fights.
seen any of his fights live. So when I think of Muhammad Ali, I think about a couple of quotes that he had. Obviously, the float like a butterfly, sting like a bee joint. And then he had another one here. He says, "It's just a job. Grass grows, birds fly, waves pound the sand. I beat people up." I mean, that was Ali. If you grew up back in the day, that was all him. And he would say anything and everything just to get in his opponent's head.
Well, the joints that stuck out to me, I heard this today. Mm-hmm. He was at a pre-fight. He was talking to somebody. He was talking about how fast he was. He was talking about how he said he was so fast. When he come in the house, by the time he cut off the light, before the light goes off, he already in the bed asleep.
ASAP.
Then another one that I heard was he was doing an interview with some dude, and he was talking about white people. He's basically saying, it's not that he don't hate all white people. All white people aren't bad. He was saying that if I'm not gonna go into I'm about to fuck his quote up, but I'm gonna paraphrase it because I don't want to fuck his quote up. He said basically he wouldn't go into a pit full of snakes knowing that all snakes ain't bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to go into a pit of snakes even though some of these snakes are cool and some of these snakes ain't. Right. But I'm not going to get into a pit full of snakes because I don't know which ones is good and which ones is bad. And even if one I know, I'm still getting in the pit with the bad motherfuckers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he was that, and that's how he was kind of explaining his relationship with, I guess, with white people. But shouts out to Muhammad Ali, rest in peace.
Yeah, some of the things that I've seen on social media, obviously he's got a picture with Kareem, Bill Russell from back in the day. He's been very instrumental in the civil rights movement and all that good stuff. His daughter, Layla Ali, who's also a professional boxer, shouts out to her and her twin sisters, and that they get through this tough time, and rest in peace to the great Muhammad Ali. And
I do want to say, my grandfather passed to Parkinson's in '96 or whatever, so it's kind of that kind of hits home. But Layla Ali, I was listening to somebody who was talking about they was following Layla Ali during his last moments or whatever, and they was saying the last body organ of his to fail was his heart. Lungs,
that's crazy.
All that shit shut down, and when he actually passed, but his heart was still beating for 30 minutes after he actually died.
If there's an organ you want the last, it's definitely the heart.
It's just synonymous to everything everything he stood for, and so rest in peace to Muhammad Ali.
All right, NFL, and would you want to get to the things that irritated us? You want to get to that?
Yes.
You go first.
So, one, Steph Curry's low top Under Armours offend me.
Now, are these the new joints that came out?
I don't know when they came out.
Okay.
I don't know. I hope the memes, they relatively young. I hope the memes you know, maybe Steph Curry internalizes them and,
right.
you know, because why he on, you know, it's his job to say they fire, but come on, bro. It's no way. Like,